Hello, YouTube. I'm not really vibing this angle, but we're gonna work with it. I was gonna film this morning. Got struck down. Got struck down by my chronic illness, and now, 9 p.m. Whilst I still feel awful, now do I think it's a good idea to film? Have I planned this video? No. Was I gonna film a vlog over Easter? Yes. Did I? Yes. Did I then look back at the footage and realise I looked and sounded too ill to edit and post it? Yes. Am I doing great right now? No, but today I want to talk about something. We're gonna get back to our roots of eating disorder recovery and all that jazz. Even gonna do some jazz hands. So this morning I felt like looking pretty. I'm wearing a nice skirt, and this skirt I don't wear because when I bought it, it was kind of borderline too small for me. And it always has been borderline too small for me. And I bought it like at the beginning of my 3rd year at university. So I was just below the heaviest weight I'm going to be. The heaviest weight I have been. I'm not going to use numbers. Before I get into this, I do want to be like, trigger warning, because I don't want to trigger anyone, but no numbers are going to be used. So I put it on this morning thinking, oh, it's not going to fit because I've gained so much weight during brain fog, during isolation. I've at the time of filming, I've been pretty much sober bound for 5 weeks, I think. And I've been eating more than I feel like I should be. So I put on this skirt and it was kind of too loose. Well, not too loose, but like borderline loose. I could do doing up the belt a bit tighter, and then I was like, shit, had we really lost that much weight in between me moving to Liverpool and now to have been eating a lot, and I mean a lot, and a lot of junk for this skirt to be looser than the last time I wore it, to be looser than I remember it. And I'm feeling a little bloated today, so if anything, it would be tighter than I remember it. And then it kind of dawned on me. I mean, I've known for a while, to be honest, and denying it to myself, that I've been in the kind of, so say I don't have any traffic lights to show you. Say there's a set of traffic lights. Red, amber, green. Red is like you're relapsing into your eating disorder. Green is like life's all good, you're sailing on, life's grand. I've known I've kind of been like amber for a while, like I've not been full on relapsing, but I've been having thoughts. I've been having a lot of thoughts. This time 2 years ago, well, no, not this time 2 years ago, but like the summer in between the 2nd and 3rd year of uni, when I was heavier than I'd ever been, and I knew I was heavier than I'd ever been, I was genuinely happy with my body. and genuinely accepting of it as it was. And lately I've been really not loving my body. And so there's those thoughts, and there's also the thoughts of I've let calorie counting sneak in again. I've denied my hunger and ended up with extreme hunger again because my body responds very, 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 very quickly to me overtraining, me restricting my calories even only mildly. My body will not stop until it gets to the place it wants. And I like that. I do like that. I don't have a problem with that. But I also, I do. I don't know what I was going to say, brain fog. I've been having thoughts again. I've been not restricting, but not fully listening to my hunger cues and my cravings. I've got close to buying a load of Diet Coke or chewing gum to just stop me from eating so damn much. I've contemplated not buying any junk food next time I go for an essential food shop, so at least then I can eat less, so I can be less. Then in being less, I will somehow be more. I will somehow be more worthy as a person. In being less, I will suddenly be worth more because I will have exercised self-control and not gained the COVID-15. And honestly, this has been going on for a while. My last period was 3 weeks late, which doesn't happen unless, like, it doesn't happen. I have noticed that my period is only that late if I have gone through a period of calorie deprivation, either from intentional restriction or otherwise. And however much I'm glad that I was able to listen to my body and eat enough to not make it like permanent damage, I could only rationalize it without feeling bad about myself because I was climbing, and I really, really, really shouldn't have been climbing. I love, oh god, now I'm at an awkward angle. I love climbing. I love it. It brings me joy. It brings me life. It gives me a way to manage my pain. It's the only form of exercise that I've been able to do since having ME without post-exertional malaise. There are times when it has given me post-exertional malaise, but I find that as long as I'm not like cardio climbing, and especially if I stick to bouldering, it's a form of exercise that has traditionally worked with my body. And then the climbing wall's closed, and for the last 5 weeks I've been physically quite ill, with symptoms of COVID-19 and then just the resulting flare up. So I wouldn't have been able to climb anyway. But we all know I would have pushed myself. We all know I was in that mental place and am still in that mental place where if I had a way to burn off calories but frame it as enjoyment and actual true genuine love for a sport I would do it. I would leap at the opportunity, even if it was putting myself at risk of fainting, collapsing, more post-exertional malaise, or more injuries. I've been climbing so hard this year, harder than what the muscle in my body and the control I have over the muscle in my body should realistically allow. So combined with me calorie restricting, but not calorie restricting enough to class it as a relapse, and not, just doing subtle restriction, I've had a lot of injuries. No one wasn't missed the story of my life, and it makes sense. Not just the injuries make sense. But so does the slipping back into old behaviours that I found comforting at the time, although were inevitably going to kill me, because I moved to the other end of the country, which is quite a shift in someone's life circumstances, and started a new job. And I'm not going to talk about the job I do, I'm not going to talk about where I work, and I'm not going to implicate anyone because no one's at fault. But there have been some hard times in that job, where I haven't felt fully settled, or I haven't felt like I was good enough, and I think that's only natural. And when you work in an office, you're surrounded by diet culture. You're surrounded by people's fucking need. Sorry to swear, but I'm really not sorry. People's fucking need to talk about their fucking diets and their fucking restrictive eating tendencies and their good and bad food and how naughty they were last night and how, you're surrounded by that. I'm in quite a female-oriented team as well, so there are days where I feel quite triggered by that, and I feel quite surrounded by that, and I feel like I know in my head that it's not okay. And I know in my head that me eating what I crave and what I want and what I can digest and what I can easily eat when I have little energy is okay. I have no issue with other people being overweight or obese, but I have that issue if it were me. I feel like it would reflect badly on me. It would reflect as if I'm lazy, I'm greedy, I'm not successful, I have no self-control, because I feel like when you work in an office environment around women who are constantly bloody talking about the diets, well, not constantly, but enough to be triggering, that fat phobia increases, and not fat phobia towards anyone else, because I know what matters about a person is what's on the inside, but that fat phobia towards myself, and it was also only natural to, and I anticipated that by getting back into climbing, I may start to experience eating disordered thoughts again. The climbing gym, not the climbing gym I go to, but the climbing gym as a place, especially when I'm on a rope, but also even bouldering. They've all stereotypically and historically been places where I've been really quite mentally unwell. When I was younger and anorexic, my harness was bloody too big for me. When I was at my lowest weight, my extra small harness was too big for me, and I mean that I guess shows how bad it got. And I wasn't even that bad physically or really even mentally compared to many other people with anorexia. But yeah, I mean, climbing attached itself to my eating disorder quite a lot when I was younger. I love it. I really fucking love it, and I can't wait to be back. I can't wait for COVID-19 to end and the walls to open and for me to just be where I belong again. But it is a place where thoughts are likely to arise because of the situation I was in when I was younger. Because I used to climb to burn calories, I used to climb to justify eating however much that day. I used to think if I got skinnier and I lost weight, I would be a better climber. And yeah, to a point, I was. But then to a point, I wasn't, because if you don't eat, you don't have energy to climb on. And I have definitely noticed that if I go climbing on an empty stomach, I don't climb well. So no wonder you notice that sharp increase in performance when you initially lose weight, but then it tails off. It tails off because there's a lot more to the sport than weight. Yes, to some degree it is a weight to muscle ratio sport, but it's really, really, really so much more than that. It's about your creativity, your ability to find the solution that works for you. It's about your persistence. When you're really climbing at your limit, I mean, the amount of tries I've had to get some of my limit problems, or like limit problems at the time. I haven't climbed a limit problem in a while. I hadn't had the mental capacity to project whilst throughout February, March. So what I was climbing wasn't really limit climbing. It was like, what can I do in 5 attempts? But when I have done limit projects, I've gone at them again and again and again and again for weeks, maybe even a month, until I finally got them. I've tried them the week they got put up and only got them the week, before they came down. It's persistence, creativity, technique. There is so much technique to learn, and I'd like to think that my technique is so much better than it was back in the day. And I really think it is, because I'm bouldering. I'm not going to use any numbers. I'm not even going to use climbing grades. I'm bouldering at an okay level, considering I'm really quite weak. I'm really quite ill. Really don't have the muscle that I had. I really don't have the finger strength that I had when I was, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I was a lot stronger then, and I can't deny that. Yet I'm climbing overhangs, and I was never bouldering overhangs before because they terrified me. And I didn't know the technique, and I used to beat myself up. I'm climbing in the cave, and I never used to cave climb before because I wasn't good at it, so I used to beat myself up because I couldn't even do the easiest problem in that area of the gym. I'm so much more of a person now, and so much more of a rounded human, and so much more of a rational human when it comes to this sport now. And I understand that there's so much more to it than weight to muscle ratio. And I understand that we don't all need to progress. If we don't want to progress, we don't have to put that pressure on ourselves. If we just want to climb, the first 4 circuits in the gym, then for the rest of our lives, then that's fine. We can do that. We can just accept natural progress. I don't. I do want to grow. I do want to progress. I do want to be more than I ever could have imagined. But not to the sacrifice of my mental health. And I haven't been keeping as much of a check on it as I said I would. And I definitely need to do the work. Do the work now while there is not a wall for me to climb. Do the work now so when I come back, I can come back loving it just as much as when the wall's closed. Just as much as when I came third in Paraclimbing Nationals. Just as much as I enjoyed the fun of competing in the Winter Bouldering Leagues without pressure, without judgment, just fun. And I want that again. To do that, I'm going to have to put the work in. The rule I made with myself when I came back to climbing was, if this is going to harm your eating disorder recovery, no, you're not going to do it. So I need to put the work in now. But also, I just want to close this video by saying it's a really hard time for everyone. And I know a lot of you are probably struggling because you can't get hold of your normal foods. You're only allowed to go in essential food shops. Struggling because you may suddenly have the urge to eat more, because I think a lot of us do during this time. And that's okay. You can listen to those urges and you can listen to those cravings. And that is okay. You can eat what you want. If you have it in the house, eat it. It's not going to mean a non-essential food shop. Eat it. Life is worth so much more than your eating disorder. It really is. As someone who has pretty much fully recovered and is just maybe going through a minor setback, life is worth so much more. If you can shut off from whatever it is that's triggering you, whatever it is that's making you feel like you need to be less than to be enough, do it. Go after it. you know. Eat the chocolate, eat the cake, bake, and eat your bakes. If you have access to equipment, ingredients, do it. Yeah, that's it for this video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I don't know if I'm really gonna be back on the YouTube train or not. We'll see. I don't have a job to do right now. That could change in less than 24 hours. And my life is, I don't know, living alone. And after 5 weeks of being really quite sick and not being able to go out to do daily exercise, it's definitely starting to get to me. So I don't know, I might do this more because it's nice to be able to chat, to be able to hopefully help people. You are worth more than your weight. You're worth more than your clothes size. You are worth more than the piece of cake you ate last night. You are worth so much more. And we can beat this together.